Hey, what is up guys, this is the Kung Fu Guy here, and today I have another martial arts talk for you. Today I'm going to talk about fear and martial arts, because I know that I had a lot of problems with fear, and maybe that would help you, because it helped me. Now, what is fear? Let me explain first the word fear. Now, there is a nice way to approach fear. Now, if you take every single letter and you part it to a different word, it would come up with something like this. F, it's false. E, evidence. A, appears. R, real. False evidence that appears real. Now, what does that mean? It means that fear is just an illusion, just something that we think that is real, something that isn't really there. A good way to see that is when you're walking in the night and you see a snake on the road, and you're getting really frightened, you're really scared. But when you get closer and put some lights on, you can see it's just a rope that is just look like a snake. Now, why did you get scared? It wasn't really a snake, right? There was no danger there, but you thought it was a snake, and that's why you became so frightened. Now, that can go through any other place as well. If you think about a fight, when you're standing in front of a bully, for example, which is taller than you, and you feel really scared. Now, why do you feel scared? It's because you think about the worst case scenario. Just like the rope is a snake, the worst case scenario is that you'll get hurt. Maybe he'll even kill you. Now, if you know how to defend yourself and you still get scared, why is that? Because you lack the confidence that you need in order to take action to stop that person or to stop that snake. Because if you see a snake, very likely he'll bite you off, right? But if you become aware of physics is, I know self-defense. I can defend myself. This guy doesn't know self-defense. He cannot defend himself. Then I have the upper hand here. Even though he's a bit taller than me, I know that I have something better than him. That I have something that he doesn't know. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know better than him how to punch or how to kick, but it means that you have better consciousness, because you know that in that situation you can have control if you chose to take control. Now, what is control? When you are in fear for a moment, you lose control. You have no control over the situation. When you see a snake and you get frightened, you don't have control over the situation. You cannot stop the snake. You don't know how. But if you take someone who's been catching snakes for the past 20 years, and that is his work, his job, right? Every day he catches about 5-6 snakes that can bite off his leg and kill him, okay? But he became so used to it that seeing a rope down the road wouldn't even make him blink, okay? Now, you need to understand the same thing goes with martial arts. When you're standing in a sparring match, it's in front of someone who's even a bit better than you, and you're starting to feel your heart beating faster, and you thinking about the worst case scenario, then you need to get into proportion. If you know how to defend yourself, then he has nothing he can do to stop you from defending yourself or winning the fight, even though he might have better abilities in combat than you. If you beat him in your consciousness, what that means is that you become less frightened than him, then you will win. Fear is just a false evidence. It's not real. It appears real, but that doesn't mean that that's actually what's going to happen. It's only going to happen if you let it happen. The rope will become a snake only if you let it become a snake. Same thing with the bully, same thing with the sparring match. You choose your reality. Remember, reality isn't what the present happens. It's what you represent to yourself. Represent the thing that you tell yourself that's happening. That's the reality that you see. That's why some kids who commit suicide and their life seems like the best life ever. Like, oh, I wish I had that life. That much money, that much friends around me. But suddenly they commit suicide. Why is that? Because they had false evidence that appears real. They had that certain representation about about reality, and they felt as if they have nothing in their life. But once they're dead, there are so many people crying over his or her grave because they committed suicide and they didn't tell anyone about that. That's something that if he would have lived to see that, he might have changed it. Because remember, it's not real, it's not the evidence that makes the reality, but it's how we see them, right? If I stand in front of someone and I know he's gonna punch me and I get frightful, then even though I was good enough or skilled enough to see that he's gonna throw a punch. Now if you think about it, if I know my opponent is gonna throw a punch, not a kick, a punch, isn't that making me the better fighter, the more skillful person that can actually stop that? Or is it just making me weak because I think about the worst case scenario? No, it's how I choose to see that. If I choose to see a certain situation as frightful and as that I have no control over it, then I lose. Doesn't matter what it is. It can even be the smallest situation that has nothing to do with pain. Okay? Remember, it's up to you. It's the way you see the things, not the way they take place. It's your representation over these situations that becomes real. Remember, you choose what's going to happen. You choose your reality. And you choose what can be true evidence and false evidence. So choose wisely. And train hard, train smart, and peace.